Welcome to the Dark Ozarks. I'm in Springfield, Missouri at a landmark, and I'm with Sterling Mathis. Sterling, introduce yourself.
Hey, Sterling Mathis. How's it going?
It's going well. It's going good for me, and I'm in heaven because I'm in a haunt. And some of the viewers might say, "Well, Lisa, you don't usually go to haunt attractions because you're at real haunted places." Got a surprise later. We are at the really landmark in Springfield, the Hotel of Terror. And Sterling, you've owned it for what, 45 years?
Yeah, my family started it in 1978. I've been here ever since. I mean, I was 16. I worked a room at 16. I worked rooms all the way up until my 25 years old, and then I took on other business end stuff, you know.
Yeah. Well, and so actually, this is one of the longest going concern haunt attractions in the United States.
Yes.
So, for those of you out there, especially if you're not in the Springfield area and you love haunt attractions, keep this on your radar. And you do have another location. Let's just do a shout out.
I do. Dungeons of Doom, just across the road, like a block away.
Okay, and we kind of have a two-purpose thing for the interview today. One, I want to talk just a little bit about the role of haunt attractions in our culture. I don't think people really realize that they go back really actually to ancient Greece, and that there are beginnings of the genre in medieval times. And then they really got started during the Depression era in the United States. But I think they really serve a certain function in our society, allowing people to have a catharsis for their own anxieties and fears.
Right.
What do you see?
You know, people like to be scared, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's completely different than anything else. If you take a date to the movie, you go sit in the chair, you eat some popcorn, have some soda, and you watch a movie. And that's about it. You take her home and you're good. You come up here, somebody's going to get clawed up and yanked to the ground and pulled on and tugged on, and you're going to get to know one another real quick.
And it's not the same every time either.
Oh no, it's different. People come out from different places. I mean, we use over 20 people in each place, closer to 25 in the dungeon over there, and about 23 over here.
Well, and what I always find in paranormal investigations and going to locations repeated times, that no matter how many times I'm at a location, it's always different. The people who are there, the experience, and really a haunt attraction is the same thing.
Yes.
It's an organic experience.
Right, yeah. I mean, when we started this, you know, our school asked us to put on, in 1974, asked us to put on a haunted house at the carnival. So we did, and man, that was so much fun. So some of my cousins and relatives wanted to do it on a bigger scale, so they opened one in Kansas City area. Mm-hmm. Which turned into Edge of Hell out of Kansas City. It's still going strong now, and you know, 1978 we did the same thing down here.
And that's so fantastic. And I have relatives who basically got into the business decades ago in Colorado, kind of the same way. So I understand, and that's so fantastic. Where are we standing right now?
Well, this is the slide room, top of the slide. There's a 96 roughly feet slide that goes from the third floor all the way to the first floor. That's how you escape the Hotel of Terror.
And we have company with us.
Yeah, he's the resident gargoyle that's been hanging out up here for quite some time now.
Well, and you know, you may think he's scary, but gargoyles are actually good luck. So I'm glad to have him over our shoulder.
Yes, that's great.
I do have to ask a question. I know some of our viewers will be curious, but is it haunted?
Yes, it really is. We have had several people see her. It's a young girl ghost. I've had several psychic people come in and ask where she is, and I tell them, look, you're the psychic, you tell me. And they pretty much pinpoint it where she's at. They find her, they basically communicate with her. My youngest boy got a picture of her, which I'll show you.
Oh, awesome, fantastic. We'll try to show that later on our different outlets. Um, and I can say, walking through earlier, we had a little brush with something as well. So I can say that it does feel like it's haunted, and I'll give you more information later on that. But you know, this really is a family concern, and you still have a lot of family involved in this business here, don't you?
Yes, my two youngest boys are still very much affiliated with the place. You know, I have one of them that basically takes care of the workers at this location, and my other son takes care of it at the other location. So they basically run the whole crew part of it.
Well, and the crew's a big part of this too, and
Right.
I understand that you are almost like a mentor, father figure to a lot of these people.
Well, I try to be. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I if I see a young kid going down the wrong path, you know, I try to point out that, look, you know, you can have anything you want in life as long as you know, work for it.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you know, that's what America was about. Is, you know, you work for what you get, and you know, you can go a long way. Yeah, I hope I've helped a lot of kids. I mean, I've had several of them tell me that. You know, they kept them off of drugs, and you know, because they were on drugs when I hired them, and I didn't know, and then when I found out, it was, you know, hey, look, you have two paths in front of you, you need to make the right choice. And they thank me all the time for, you know, pushing them that direction, just trying to help them.
And I think that's important for a lot of people, maybe people who are not involved in the haunt business, or big partakers in haunts, that the industry really is a very family oriented, and not only family friendly for the guests, but it fosters a camaraderie that you don't see in a lot of
Oh, right,
businesses.
right, yeah. These guys are tight. You know, they're all buddies. They're all friends. Um, Everybody gets along. You know, when you get the people that, you know, just want to stir the pot, you got to let those people go, because you
Mm-hmm.
can't, you know, do it when it's like that. But you know, these guys, they get along. I mean, I've got people that still do some part-time work for me that has started, you know, like 2 years after we opened, you know,
Oh,
so
wow.
they've been around for that long.
It gets in the blood.
It does, but they love it.
That's fantastic. Now, unfortunately, there is now sort of a threat to this ongoing business.
Yes,
Um,
again.
Again, and we were talking earlier outside that when I lived here back in the '80s and early '90s, at different times, I recall the city giving you all trouble,
Right.
so the current go round controversy about what's going to happen with the Hotel of Terror isn't the first fight with the city.
Correct.
What happened back in the '90s?
Well, the 90s, I guess they got a bright idea that they wanted to do some, you know, revamping of this area, and
Mm-hmm.
Hotel Terra was not a part of it, so they wanted to make me go away. So, you know, I was here since 1978, but they thought that I should have sprinkler systems for some reason in a building that I can get you out of at any time within like 20 seconds. I can have you outside. Right here, it's about 4 seconds and you're outside.
Right.
Anywhere in this building, I can get you out. So we went to court. We fought, and um, the rule was, if the fire marshal is not comfortable, he still needs to. They want to enforce it. So they didn't think we would spend the $48,000 at that time to install them, but we did. So
Mm-hmm.
that ruined their plan. And I've got a map I can show you where they already had me on there. Not me, but they had the Texas Hotel as a important site, that they were going to keep the building and get rid of me. So
Okay, and that's something to say. This not only is just a haunt attraction. This really is a historic building that goes back a long ways.
it is. This building was built around 1912 as a hotel,
Mm-hmm.
which operated. I'm not sure when it quit being a hotel. I may be a haunted house longer than it was a hotel. I'm not sure, because I've been. This is 45 years for the haunted house, so I'm not. And I know it was vacant a long time before I bought it, before we
Right.
came to town to look at it. So it was a cultured marble place, and then they did fire extinguishers in the basement, is what it was when we started using this building.
Okay, but it was a historic hotel for a long time, and we are on Main Street,
Right.
historic Main Street or in Springfield, slip hometown, and so they planned. Apparently, they felt that it was a historic site that couldn't be demolished back then.
At that point, yes.
Yes. So you get past that controversy, go on with your business. Now, fast forward to what's going on now. What is happening?
Well, now again, they're wanting to remodel the area here, so they want to bring Jordan Creek out of the ditch, basically, that they have it in, and make it more walk around friendly. So they want to bring it back up to ground level.
Okay, and so for anyone that's not familiar with downtown Springfield, Jordan Creek originally went right through the middle of downtown.
Right through downtown, yes.
And it caused a lot of flooding in the 1800s.
Right.
And over time, it was enclosed and put into drainage ditches, basically.
Right.
And
covered ditches, basically.
Covered ditches, so that it runs through concrete tunnels under the streets. Underground, yes. So that you don't have that problem. So now they're wanting to basically reverse that to a degree.
Right. They want to bring it back out in the open, which I still haven't seen, how they plan on doing it, because if you bring it back up ground level, you're going to get way more flooding than if it's like it's down underground. If you keep it underground, you take most of the water, and like when we had 1,000-year rain, we do get flooding. Mm-hmm. I got water in the basement, like a lot of people did.
Right.
There's no damage, no problem. I didn't get any water on the first floor, so only the basement, which is good. But I'm not sure how it's going to work when they try to bring it back up ground level. But then they told me that then they come up with a new angle. Well, the bridge is too narrow. We need to widen the bridge, is what they told me. So that's when I started measuring other bridges.
Now, and for reference for people, we're talking about the bridge that's just on the south side of the building.
Yes.
Okay.
Just on the south side, basically right off to the I guess it would be the south of my building, like 2 steps to the south. It starts.
And it is currently there is a culverted drainage ditch for the creek through there.
Correct.
So
they tell me my bridge is too narrow, so I measure it and I start measuring other bridges. Well, brand new one that they just built over on the other side of town, 4-lane, where we're 2-lane. The 4-lane bridge was 72 feet wide. Well, I measured our bridge here. It's 90 feet wide. So that's their story there has changed now from being too narrow to they want to lengthen it.
Okay.
So now here we are on lengthening it. They have to take my building because they want to lengthen the bridge, not widen. They want to lengthen it. So
now, have they articulated a reason that it needs to be?
So they can bring it back up to ground level.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if they're going to walk you down a steep hill to get to the creek, or how exactly they're going to do this. I don't know, because that water has to go somewhere.
Yeah, and if you look at the bridge and the culvert, it does make you wonder exactly what this plan is. Have they published any?
I haven't seen anything.
Plans or anything?
All I've seen is some pictures and some drawings and things about what it will look like, which is kind of funny too, because right in the middle of their new plan, they've got a big restaurant right there. Looks like a restaurant. It's got tables and stuff out front. Well, who owns that? They're going to run me off the road. Who they giving that to?
And where is that supposed to be located?
It's in this area right here that they're wanting to redo. Yes.
Okay. So, and no information's been given to you?
No information at all.
Okay. So, you and the city have been going back and forth about what to do.
They started back up about 2019, offered me really low price, which I couldn't even rebuild a roof over there for what they offered me. So
the idea is they're wanting you to move this operation to your other location.
Well, we looked for other buildings first, and there's nothing here. I mean, they want to move me over to close to what is that, Commercial Street.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be over by Commercial Street. I want to stay over here.
Okay.
This is where I've been for a long time.
And your other building is not
Like
very
block,
far.
2 blocks away. It's real close. And we do hay rides and hearse rides back and forth. So that's no charge. If you want to ride in the hearse, you go back there, jump in the back, and they take you over there.
Okay.
You want to ride back, you know, it's a back and forth. It's all free.
That makes a lot of sense. So what are they suggesting happen now?
Well, they say they've worked and they've offered me three offers. The third one is quite a bit higher than the first one,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still less than half, less than 50% of what it will take for me to rebuild this at the other location, at my own property.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to have a roof, I have to put another building on top of the third floor, just a metal building, and a set of stairs. And they're telling me, oh, no, we can't do anything like that. And I said, well, I have no room to go. I have no place to go with it. So that's why they're trying to do the eminent domain now.
Okay, so now they're trying to use the concept of eminent domain, which generally is for public projects. Yeah, most people see it with like highway construction,
Right.
for to widen a highway or something and take a slice off of your property line, but. Now, have they made an offer that would be considered a fair market value?
Well, before pandemic, this
Uh-huh.
last offer wouldn't be terrible. I
Uh-huh.
might have been able to do it, but since the lumber and everything has doubled and sometimes tripled, there's no way I can do it. So there's no way. But I want to talk about this too.
Mm-hmm.
So they're also talking about giving $16 million for the Hammond's Field,
Mm-hmm.
which is just up the road from me. So they're going to spend $16 million on that, which I'll bet you I have more people come to my 2 places than they go to the ball fields, and I'm only open 32 days.
Well, do you mind kind of giving just a hint of what kind of traffic you get?
I can. I'll have to figure it up, but
Mhm.
I can. Yes.
Okay, that'd be great because we can include that in the
Yes.
article, so.
I mean, I've got no tax cuts. I've got no help from anybody. I've done this on my own from 1978. My parents helped, but when I took over, I've had no help from anyone. So I just want to be treated fairly. And the people in Springfield, they love this place. They love coming here. They talk about this, they talk about that. Every time I see anybody, oh man, that's the greatest place in the world. They love this
Well,
place.
it's an institution. It's been here for years. I can say that myself, and always was fun early on. So, granted, I haven't been up here in a long time, but what can people do to show their support or to get a message out to the city?
Well, you can email the council people, tell them what you think. I'll provide the emails to you, and give them an email, give them a call. The mayor's office, give them a call, tell him what you think. I'm not trying to be unreasonable. I'm trying to continue it, but I have to go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
I have to build it. I'm 60 years old. I can't climb all around on this place like I used to. I'm going to need somebody to help me. And in order to make this a Class A haunt, we've been rated #1 in the state at this building before. So
Yeah.
best haunt in the state. That's pretty good.
It really is, because there's a lot of haunts.
There's a lot of haunts.
And I know that, just doing research, I've seen that rating come up multiple times for you.
Yeah.
And so, it's a going concern with value.
Right.
And so you're asking for fair value.
Right. I just want to be paid what it's worth or what it's going to cost me to build it over there.
Mm-hmm.
I've already offered, look, I won't take 1 nickel if they agree to take everything from here, set it up over there like I need it set up.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be fine. I wouldn't take a nickel. Either way, I'll sign a contract tomorrow on that if that's what they would do. If they would promise me that they're going to rebuild it over there where I can turnkey operation and go in and scare people, I'm there. I'm not. Some people think I'm looking to make a big bunch of money. I'm not. I'm trying to keep something that's been going since 1978 going for my kids and even possibly their kids.
Well, and certainly you can understand, and it means a lot to a lot of people besides your family too. And so now there's a vote coming up with the city council on the 21st of February. Is that
Right.
right? I've read in the media that people are planning on showing up there.
Yes.
So the public can show up to show solidarity.
Right.
What time is the meeting?
I think it's 6:30.
At City Hall.
Yeah, I would love for everybody that has been through here or loves this place, come up. Show them that you want to keep it around. Like, I want everybody to be respectful. I don't want to have any problems.
And we want to say that on record too. We want everyone to be civil and orderly and professional, but show solidarity.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, I think that we can work this out, but they just basically want to bully me because from the very beginning, from the 2019 offer, we'll take that or we're going to start eminent domain. And it's like, no, I'm not taking that. And then they come up with another one, and then they come up with a third one, which is the one I have now. But if we point out a building right across the road, it's not as big as this, and it's for sale, and they're trying to get more money. They're asking more than what the city's trying to pay me. And I'm sprinklered and everything else, and a 45-year business this year. So they're just gonna have to work with me.
Well, and we hope that everything works out the way you want, because we'd love to see this continue. We suggest everyone to show your support. You can also send support through the website and the Facebook page too, and it's hotelofterror.com. Right?
Yes.
And then Hotel of Terror on Facebook.
Hotel of Terror on Facebook.
Anything else you'd like to add, Sterling?
No, I think you did a nice job. I appreciate it.
Well, and we appreciate you meeting with us. So we thank everybody, and stay tuned to the Dark Ozarks.